After their brutal battle comes to an end, Jack and Hanayama stand at a stalemate.
Hanayama, however, has taken the worst of it. The wound on his neck bleeds heavily, growing more life-threatening by the second. Seeing his condition, the police chief orders his men to call an ambulance.
Despite losing a dangerous amount of blood, Hanayama remains standing, though he has already lost consciousness.
Attention turns to Jack, who has regained consciousness. Slowly, he lifts himself from the ground, first into a handstand, then landing on his feet. Now standing near him, the policemen are struck by just how massive Jack truly is. One of them steps forward and asks him why the fight started. Jack calmly replies that the fight was simply a contest to see who was stronger, and now that has been settled.
When pressed to elaborate, Jack explains that there is nothing more to it. He was knocked out, and Hanayama bled out. The police chief interrupts, asking if the fight is truly over. Jack answers that all they need to do now is take care of Hanayama.
One of the policemen attempts to stop Jack, but the chief tells him to let it go, saying the two men were just settling who was stronger. The policeman questions the chief's decision, but the chief states that Hanayama would never press charges, even if he died from his injuries, nor would he pursue Jack in court. They quickly put Hanayama in a stretcher and rush him to the hospital.
The scene then shifts to Kayasumi and Hanada, who are discussing Baki's strength. Kayasumi questions whether Baki is really as strong as everyone claims. Hanada is surprised by the question, but Kayasumi presses the point, saying that once martial artists stop doubting, it is the beginning of their downfall.
Hanada reflects, admitting that he often hesitates and doubts himself, whether in the dojo or in his daily life. But, he says, there has never been a moment where he doubted Baki.
Hanada then suggests that if Kayasumi is so curious, he should test Baki for himself.
He tells him to try anything, jump him, provoke him, and see what happens.
But he warns Kayasumi that Baki will not moan. Kayasumi then brings up Baki's Hanma blood, saying he doesn't believe that having that blood makes him special. Hanada pushes back, pointing out that Baki and his father are far from normal.
He reminds Kayasumi that the title of strongest creature is not something anyone is willing to contest, which is insane when you think about it.
Still, Kayasumi says he doesn't care about Baki's father.
He is only interested in Baki himself, noting his height of 170 centimeters and weight of around 70 kilos, a middleweight by boxing standards. Kayasumi assumes that when Baki fights opponents heavier than him, he will be at a disadvantage, but Hanada reminds him that Baki has already defeated Yujiro. Despite the warning, Kayasumi makes up his mind, and decides that he will test Baki personally. Time passes, and we see that Kayasumi has found Baki, who's wandering the streets.
Determined, he prepares himself to see if Baki truly lives up to his reputation. So I guess I was wrong about Hanayama being the victor. I should have known that Hanayama's injuries were far more severe than Jack's, so there was a strong possibility that he would win. Still, it was very funny seeing the comments and memes about Jack's supposed loss during the time Chapter 50 released. It's now looking like screen time will return to Baki, as Kayasumi plans to harass him, like Chiharu did when he wanted to test Baki's strength. I bet Baki will end up trolling Kayasumi, or will just effortlessly knock him out over and over again. Well, that's it for Chapter 51 of Baki. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Until then, have a nice day.